My Energy Ecliptic loves circle persona, self-love, best love, world love. You knows my honor. Greetings, that be your host, JaMes Peter Bastien. In peace, prosperity, power. It is my honor to share my affirmations, visualizations, and unisons manifestations in all satisfactions. The mind, body, and soul is to grow in all facets. Presented in procreation, this is MB19 podcast show. May you be at peace in whatever the action is proclaiming, ascending the greatest of all satisfaction like your goals a bullseye, your actions the dart. Believe in you no matter the ending or the start. For your life, such precious life, must you claim it. Myself, finding my tribe. I'm one of one. I'm not going to say like, look, I'm some special cat or anything to that fashion, but the way life made me assured that I'm one of one. You know what I mean? All of us are raised different, and we must appreciate this life that we have. Some of us are raised where there's no guardians, there's no parents in that fashion that we're growing up with. Some of us may have a lot of family members. Some of us may have guardians. However it goes. But I can say I'm one of one, and I appreciate my life, man. Um, I'm battle tested. I'm battle tested. Um, Shit, a lot of things in my lifetime. Of course, the easiest thing we want in our lifetime is not to experience hardship, but who we are is defined through those moments of hardship, right? You look at surviving. Some of us derail the survival moments and define those moments as such negative moments, and we become victim of those moments. But for me, anytime, if I was to ever, again, if it's a fair, right, if I was to ever be a victim, for me, that's naturally a success playing for me, because if I was a victim yesterday, that means I survived. So today, I'm successful. I surpassed whatever the circumstance. So nothing could be a victim. I can never be victimized within my own mind, because whatever I sustained or I went through was something I propelled. I'm breathing, so I'm achieving. You know what I'm saying? So what's the loss for me if I survive such circumstance, right? That means my survival rate is 100%. Yeah. So for me, that's kind of like my goalship of things. And this episode today, it's a little hard for me, only because I don't want to have a topic. I really don't. I want to be as free as I can, but obviously there's some range in your mind that you think of certain things, and there's some topics I want to gather into, but like, I don't know. I'm just dead. Like, I'm dead from a lot of different social conversations that's happening in our society. I can't say America or this is an American thing. I can't say it's a world thing. To be transparent, I haven't been all around America or all around the world to tell you that this is this or this is that. But I could definitely tell you, if you just listen to my voice and you never see my face, that I am a melanated man, Asiatic man, African bloodline. Um, got Caribbean blood lineage from the island of Haiti. People in America were known as Haiti, right? It's tiring. Like, you can't do right, you can't do wrong, you can't do positive, you can't do good, you can't do bad. You know what I'm saying? Good. Like, it's like I feel like we're in a racial war in a lot of ways. Like people are so defensive to defend their skin rather than the truth. I don't know. Like I never been about lies. Like I never been about a code of ethic rather than the truth. That's my code of ethic. My morals and principle it's off the truth. Like I don't know. I don't get the games, the gimmick of like I don't know, dude. Like at some point, man, I just be feeling lost as a human. Like I don't get like what's the end goal? Like it ain't the conversation to me is so like wide range that it's hard for me to even to pick a particular placement because it's not about the money aspect of thing, which is like some people may have more than the other. Some people may work harder, right? They choose a different life path. I don't know. I don't care for any of it because to me it's like it's people that they're literally mad and angry at rich people, like as like every rich people are bad humans. Like there's some people that's like it's all evil. So like they look at it like it's not opportunity. Money doesn't give you different chances or things to do, right? So you're looking at a person that makes money as to be somebody automatically evil, right? But yet you refuse to even alternate or change your life. I don't know. It's like I've never been that type of person to be in the out, not in the inside of a situation, trying to on the, meaning on the. I can't be on the outside trying to give you detail of what the inside is if I don't know. You know what I mean? And if I don't know anybody personal, like some people be like, oh, this person's spoiled, they got mom and dad give them this, that, and third, but the opposition to that is like, yeah, hopefully they do get everything they want, but do they get affection? Do they get compassion? Do they get caring, right? Do they get the caring? Do they get time? Like, again, and then the next person, they parent may not have much money, but they get love, affection. I'm so sorry in a way that I know I'm ranting and I'm not giving a prevalent view, but like I literally did start off with a topic. I literally like just deleted the whole thing because like I felt like it was harder for me trying to like give pointers in on one specific thing just because I wanted to make it a topic. And it was very unauthentic for me that episode that I previously was recording before I deleted it. And yeah, it's just so many things. I don't like. I just keep referring back to that again, guys. And again, my apologies, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to this. But I don't know. I'm keep saying I don't know. My solution for this episode is having an open conversation. Whether it's about racism, whether it's about finance, whether it's about mentalism, because a lot of things, even with like when you think about mental health, I don't. Let's talk about that for a few seconds. Let's talk about it since it's been hard for me to do captivate what's like bothering me today. Not even bother, but what's been on my brain. So let's talk about mental health, and it's a great diversion of conversation because I had a conversation with a coworker yesterday in that regards, and this coworker of mine, she's a former teacher, and she was telling me how pretty much the past 10 to 15 years of her teaching, of over about 30 years of experience, she's like mental health is something so big for these kids nowadays, and like how you got to make sure that they're okay because the online abuse is at an all-time high. Obviously, we know the things in the fashion of the school shooting that's happening, and it's taking so much for these kids. And it made me thought and ponder. I'm like, wow, that is true. But then again, like, as an adult that you are today, whether you're 35 like me, or let's say you're older, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, like, when you was 13 years old, right? Where the fuck was mental health then? Like, where was mental health then? Where was this compassion to say that a teenage boy or a teenage girl couldn't go through their own personal life like a teenage boy or teenage girl going through now, right? Meaning that, like, in those times, you were just told to do as said. You were looked as to be soft if you used to be complaining or crying about people bullying you at school, or you having hard time because you got this on your brain or this, that, and third. You're looked as a weak person. You know what I'm saying? So me and the coworker having that conversation, because it's like, are we really in a better place, right? Like, with all the different attention that we giving these kids with mental health, are they actually in a better place or in a worse place? And for me, and just having that conversation, I feel like it's in a worse place, because anything in life that give us more excuses doesn't help us, right? It's something that hinders us. It's something that we can loop on, right? And again, with mental health, how many people are using it as an excuse to not get things done? So it's kind of like the same way, like I was speaking on the finance, like, where you can have some people angry at rich people as like they are bad. Now, do you have some rich people that that's all they do? All they do is attempt to take advantage of the poor, or you know what I'm saying, things like that. Of course, but I think rich and poor is a mentality as well, just as it is a physical success, right? It's a mentality, like having money or thinking rich is something free anyone could do, right? What I mean by that is that having money is having the ability to live beneath your needs, right? So if you're poor mentally, right? If you're poor from the idealization of I can only make money based on me working for someone, or that idealization, you have no ability to look at money being able to make you more money. You don't look into different admiration, whether it's in investing, trading, whether it's starting your own different virtues of things. There's so many ways that money itself can be a magnetic field to you, right? And like I said, with the energy of money, I'm sorry, with money itself, it's energy. So with that, how you go about getting money, if you're in a forceful idealization, I got bills, that's how I got to get money, da da da. Or if you're looking at it like, oh man, I can't wait to get these certain adventures, like, oh man, I can't wait to make more money because I'm gonna have more opportunity and more times to do either vacation, so on and so forth. So the sort of energy that we can find and give money is as well as the same way money is going to be reciprocated back to us. And going back and finishing that off is like, some people relationship with money is like it comes from a slave mentality, right? It's like, oh, this person owns a business. Like, all I can be in my lifetime is a worker, right? So for that person themselves, they have no idea how limited they 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 view themselves in the idea that I'm only a worker. I can only go to someone else's job to work for them, right? And there's some people that don't want, they just want to go into work and be an employee, because as the employer, you have to manage certain stuff, right? You have to overview and think for other people. And there's some people that don't want that. But the reason why I brought that conversation up is that we have a world that's so unbalanced with the idealization that life is not fair. But that's a part of that, right? if let's say we're both, let's say we're two at just keeping it in the same money conversation, but I'm gonna give you a comparison of how money as well works. Let's say you have two athletes. Not even from the perspective, let's not make one so much stronger, faster. Let's not make anything about gender. Let's just make it two standard athletes that have maybe the same genetic codes when it comes to height, weight, speed. Everything is about the same, right? But the difference is mentality, right? Their mental shape of what their life should be or should be, right? So let's say in that same conversation that we having, these two athletes, right, that's equal in everything besides mine. One mind is strong, one is weaker, or let's say one is strong but one is just average. So in getting better from the process, whether let's say they're a track athlete, right, whether it's so many sprints, so many different exercises that they do to help them. Let's say 2 hours per day will enhance each athlete to get a little bit better, right? So let's say the average person only do 1 hour, but the good athlete or the great athlete from mental aspect, right, do 3 hours. So in time, based on the work ethic of that good and great athlete, naturally there's gonna be a space in between that average and greatness, right? There's gonna be a space in between that average and that greatness. So in that same comparison, it's the same view with money. There's some people out there, they want to do the basic to get money, right? But then there's some they're sacrificing 16, 18 hours out the day to either propel to a higher level, right? To either learn more. There's certain people that's like not limiting their hustle at all to get more money, to get more knowledge, to get more wisdom, however it come about, right? With that, it's the same version like I was saying with the athletes. Because somebody say their goal is to be a trillionaire, doesn't make them an evil person. If you're a person that say I just want to work 9 to 5 and just have enough money to pay my bills and that's it. That is your life, that is your goal, right? And then it's like the third variation in this conversation, it goes into that race culture. And it's the same process. It's like, it's the same thing with the money, right? It's the same thing with the athletes. My skin is great because it's my fucking skin. I have the greatest skin of all time. Being that I am a melanated man, my skin is the greatest skin. I don't project that energy to downsize or demoralize any Caucasian brother or sisters of mine or any Asian, whatever it is, right? I would hope in their own mindset that they feel they have their own skin. That's power. That's self-love. What's the problem with that, right? But it's a problem when I say I got the best skin and everybody else that don't have a skin like mine are terrible, disgusting. That's where we have that issue. Rather than understanding that differences is what make us in this lifetime, differences is what make us have so many opportunity, right? Because in differences can you find multiple ways in doing things. But because we're scared, not even scared, I would say we're frightened. We're more frightening of changes in our society based on our cultures and upraising through civilization. The scarcity that changes bring for most people is not acceptable as it should be because as life shows us, change is inevitable. But for most people, they want the simplistic, they want the standard of the constant to be as to be, right? So if I'm a black man, I want the consistency of my world to be that the black skin or the black man and woman is to be the greatest. White person, same thing. And it's like, that's not how it goes. There's going to be good and bad in everything. And also, how we decide to grow ourselves is going to be the good and bad in everything. I just, I just refuse to live in a world that's filled with hate to just become ass. And I think it's so easy to transcend hate in our society because we're seeing it a lot more, right? We see it a lot more. Like, think about like treating each other as we want to be treated, like treating each other nice. It's easy to do, but it's harder. It's getting harder to do only because we're looking at each other with less respect. We're looking at each other with less value. So within those same reasoning comes the reasoning of like, what's the point? What's the purpose of caring? So you have those that say fuck life, right? So you have those that say fuck my neighbor. So you have those that say fuck my land. Because there's a lack of appreciation for their own life, appreciation for what life is. We're constantly, as the humans having the human experiences, making it worse and worse for the future because we're giving the future so much worrisome. The financial worrisome, the mental health worrisome, the diversion of race worrisome, right? If if I'm a if I'm a biracial child, where do I see myself in life? Right? If I'm black and white, if I'm mixed biracial, like what the fuck? There's always some type of secret setting or code of ethic of like we don't fuck with them like we fuck with us. For the whites and black. It's always some sort of culture separation, and we're all God's people. Everybody from everywhere got fucking assholes, unless God forbid you have a rare condition that you was not born with an asshole, right? If you're a male and female, I would hope you have your sex genitals part. God forbidding if you were born different. But what I mean by that, just from this feeling of all babies cries, no baby come in speaking Chinese or English, none of that. We all cry. We all share the same factor for a living. We all need showers. We all need to eat. We all need to shit. We all need to, you know what I'm saying? But the moment that we disintegrate the importance of life into how much money we make, what sort of job we have, what race are we, what gender are we, you know what I'm saying? All those fucking small little barking at the tree issue become the sentiment to what we're living under of life purposes or life principles and morals under, and those are the true aspect that's the valuing our true lifestyle as humans. There's a lot more I feel like I need to say or do say in this episode, but it's been a tough day for me. Just because as a writer, as a thinker, I want unisons in my thought process, and I know my brain is scattered just off the strength of how this conversation was cultivated, but it's really a frustrating. It's a frustrating conversation for me. Um, you hear me saying a lot: self love, best love, the only way we can act to world love, and world love has become my religion. I'm not super big on the Christianity, Buddhism, baptism, whatever you want to cultivate under. I'm not an atheist. I'm none of that. I'm not even to the terminology of spiritual, only because you'll find that like it's so imageable now, right? Spirituality for most people is what they wear, what sort of natural products, drum circle, all that extra bullshit. And you're looking at spirituality now, it's like another form of religion. Everybody that's quote unquote into spirituality went into that because they hated what the limitation or the restriction religion provided, but yet they go into spirituality doing the same thing. Like you have to eat like me, or you have to dress like this. You have to be in this sort of music. You have to say, "Hey, I say this," all that extra shit, grand rising, all that shit. No, that don't mean that. That don't have nothing to to do with spirituality. Spirituality is just simply you knowing yourself. It's that's all that. It's all it means. It's just you knowing yourself, your surrounding, the inner and outer world. That's all spirituality speaks on. But again, we're in a society that won't define it, right? It's such a black or white society because leaders are in the gray. Leaders are the one that have to figure out what's right and wrong for them. Leaders are the one that understand black may change for white tomorrow, same vice versa, white change for black. You know what I mean? But everyone can keep up with your race, so since they can't, feed them some mustard. They can't catch up. Fuck them. Again, my name is JaMes Peter Bastien. In peace, prosperity, power, I send to you my greatest of all gift, which is self-love, best love, the only way we can unite to world love. And in my moments of time, I look forward to affirm, visualize, manifest, and remain daily that I am truly blessed. Grateful as thankful that you was able to give me, or lend me, should I say, your ears, atonement to ring out some words of affirmation. Through your visualization, may you still be empowered, may you still be the one in control of your life. I'm grateful and thankful for the life that I'm living. I'm going to do the best that I can to take ownership, accountability to this life. I'm a visionary, so I will be working on those goals on a daily basis. Again, my name is JaMes Peter Bastien, your humble host of MB19 Podcast Show. Grateful and thankful for your time and cooperation. This is a terrible ending, but I don't really care to fixate it. Yeah, I just been all beat up. Get out of here. Bye.